Welcome back to the Gentleman Ultras pay-per-view with me, Richard Hall. So there is a huge night of Champions League action tonight, including, of course, the big game Inter versus Liverpool at San Siro. So that certainly will be one of the games to watch this evening. So Inter's European Thunder, let's have a look at all the headlines today with Gazzetta dello Sport, Corriere dello Sport, and of course Tutto Sport as well. The headline everywhere is a version of Inter versus Liverpool, the final decision. The wounded beast, Marcus Thuram, is quoted as saying, "Wounded Liverpool is a dangerous proposition." But the papers are heavily focused on the chaos surrounding the English side, really talking about the situation, of course, with Mohamed Salah and his comments after the game of the weekend, where he obviously went to town, should we say, against, it seemed, Arne Slot. So what does that mean? Of course, Mo Salah won't be there. He is out. He has been omitted from the travelling squad following his explosive outburst and his public feud with the coach, which is a huge boost for Kivu's side, of course. So, yeah, I mean, the main part of that is that Inter will look at Liverpool and the way that they counter. Also, as well, they will think about their recent league position and their recent results, and quite fancy, especially since the Inter have been in free scoring form. 5 against Venezia, including a brace from Thuram and Esposito getting on the score sheet, as well as Boni, whereas Thuram gets on the score sheet again, and Lautaro does in their 4-0 destruction of Como, which the Italian press quoted as being near perfect. So, lots to be excited about if you're an Inter fan. However, there is the situation with Inter that despite some players missing as well for Liverpool, like the instance, for instance, Gakpo, it says Inter must secure tonight's final European exam and not underestimate them. And we know that Liverpool over the years have always been managed to perform in Europe despite what their league form has been like. So let's go back to Gazzetta, the pink paper. The headline here: La Cura Pulisic, the Pulisic cure. Torino escape. The American comes on and launches Milan. Of course, 2-0 down very early on. The Granata doing exceptionally well. A brace then came on from the American, and obviously that 3-2 puts them in top spot with Napoli. To think that 2 days ago, Pulisic said, "I was dead from fever." Well, he's certainly it was at fever pitch last night for that game. A very exciting end-to-end game, and a game that is absolutely characteristic of Serie A. Now, the Gazzetta is pretty much gushing over Christian Pulisic and the Rossoneri. Obviously, as we said, those first 20 minutes, the goals from Vlasic, the penalty and Zapata. Obviously, then the comeback after what a rocket, by the way, from Rabiot, having halved the deficit. Excuse me. He scored, Pulisic, that is, 2 goals. The pink paper calls it a show of heart. And then also they talk about the really bad news is the injury to Rafael Leao, who's substituted with an abductor problem. Of course, so his absence could be a serious worry. So the standings: Milan joined Napoli with 31 points, and the race is on. Allegri said that he was very impressed with the way that his team come back. Let's go to Tutto Sport, the Turin-based paper. Will they be talking about Pulisic? Of course they are, yes. Andrea Pulisic, Milan primo. So enter Pulisic, Milan first. A fever. Again, everything's about fever. I think I've got fever as well, to be fair, today, so excuse me for the voice. The fever gets Torino. Rossoneri come back from 2-0 to 3-2, etc., etc., etc. And the Turin-based paper focus on local drama. Of course, they go savagely against Torino, stating that they've slipped to 16th place and are facing humiliation for their fans. And again, that word fever, fever-driven Pulisic, it seems to be all the papers have combined in the headlines today. Talking about his exemplary performance. Now, let's see what they say in Corriere dello Sport, the Roman-based paper. Okay, so here, the headline is Tutto Max, it's all Max. Pulisic is the ace 2, Torino overturned, etc. The usual Allegri moves were decisive, they dominated the second half, but again, the Leao injury puts Super Cup plan at risk. They also credit the suspended manager Allegri for the tactical reshuffle that he made in the domination of the second half. But this time, no mention of fever. That's interesting. Maybe they're cured of it. They also confirmed again that is a huge blow for Milan with Leao. So we go into the Champions League, and we will see if Inter can finish up and take take stock, should we say, of what's been a very successful Champions League campaign with a victory against Liverpool. Not nights could have been seen since maybe 1965 when Inter came out from a 3-1 deficit under Helenio Herrera and the Grande Inter. But maybe that's just me being nostalgic, as always. Anyway, for me, it's ciao for now.